The last game of the day, ladies and gentlemen. It is game number 3 in our Zerg versus Zerg. To the bottom right of the map, we have the Casper player starting for Samsung Khan. It is
Samsung Khan, Ro16,
who made a little bit of a mistake here by getting his Overlord at 8 supply instead of 9. His opponent starting to the top left without an Overlord at all so far is the FXO player. It is
FXOLeenock.
He loves early pools.
He really does. And see what Ro16 has planned. Kind of a glaring mistake with his Overlord production. And I mean, this is going to hurt him, very briefly here, but it's definitely going to, no matter who you are, if you make a mistake like this, your mentality is going to be slightly shaken.
It's just, yeah, you're right. It's just simply annoying. And now we have once again the double extractor trick. Guys, if you're new to StarCraft, you can see at the supply to the top right now that FXOLeenock has 12 over 10 supply. So if you just build those 2 extractors, then it will reduce your supply count. You can build 2 additional drones or Zerglings if you have your pool already. Cancel the buildings that are building, and then you will get the supply back. This is one of the tricks that Zergs also use in the late game to get it to 214, 220 supply.
It's because the drone becomes a building.
Yeah.
And FXOLeenock is making 6 lings here. Drone coming across again to see if it's hatch first, see if he needs a drone as a follow-up. Ro16, though, is going for pool first, and he will be able to block the hatchery once again. Oh, just barely not.
Yeah, it was not successful here. 8 Zerglings in total, and now he will probably start his production of drones.
Yeah. The first drone already on the way.
Well, I guess. I can't because of the supply. He could actually just go for another building in a cans, but he wants to have the hatch before he goes for the queen.
I'm a little bit surprised he didn't get that queen, but yeah, hatch can go down first.
Yeah, he wants to have the hatch before he starts with it. He just drones up completely, is now going for the double supply, and now he gets the queen, okay? But plays it a little bit different from last game.
And these lings are going to do just what he did last game. We'll see if Ro16's micro is a little bit better here this time.
He only has 6 at this point. Yep, there we go. And wants to intercept them. He doesn't really, he's not too comfortable with fighting here, especially as 2 additional Zerglings are now moving in. But he will have enough soon.
Yeah, if you fight on the ramp as well, there's no way for your opponent to use his ling numbers against you.
Nice micro is a little bit crazy here, but this time doing a lot of damage at the natural, actually. He actually does a lot of damage to this hatch.
I mean, with all the lings firing and a trap here.
It's a trap.
So nicely done.
Really, really well done. Oh, wow. Ro16, you have a bit of a problem here. You are losing a lot of units, and you need to build a lot more Zerglings.
And this is FXOLeenock droning up at home completely. Worker count right now is 16 to 14 in his favor.
He has the hatch a little bit later, and of course the lava mechanics will kick in fairly soon, but at this point in time FXOLeenock is actually ahead in harvesters. And he is getting gas first.
Going for his second queen as well. Gets away with 3 lings. Really well done by FXOLeenock in both games with his aggression. It looks like he has really well practiced the 10 pool. Like, he knows exactly what to do when his opponent has a hatchery that's later, exactly how to micro his lings at the bottom of the ramp. Really well practiced. It's a cool
strategy. I really like it. It just puts on some aggression. It gives it the opportunity to take an early win in the game. And Ro16 could definitely have gone for 15 hatch here. It's not an unusual strategy on Ohana, and especially with the games that FXOLeenock played so far. He might have just assumed, well, you did it like 2 times, you're not going to do it a 3rd time. Guess what? FXOLeenock will. Denies the scout as well.
Yeah, that's important. No vision of the gas that FXOLeenock has taken. And the gas of FXOLeenock is just slightly ahead, which means he will get speed first, but he's taken a 2nd gas very quickly here.
Yeah.
May indicate you to play again.
Could indicate a fast attack here, exactly whatever he wants to do. He could see a fast attack, then the Baneling Nest to play a little bit more defensive, but he goes for the speed instead. The Overlord is going to get away though. Should get away. Vision. No. Close. Ah, that's why, okay. With the 2nd Overlord, I actually didn't see the Overlord chasing it a little bit too late, and therefore that makes a lot of sense. I was already wondering why exactly this Overlord was still being attacked by the Queen. I'm like, hey, it's already on the high ground, how can you see it? But yeah, the Queen is blocked by this one monolith and then can't pass.
That was such a close call. That was insane.
Ro16 is actually doing exactly what I said. What FXOLeenock isn't, but Ro16 is. He's going without speed for attack, and the Baneling Nest has slow lings, but the Baneling Nest to defend. and therefore the fast attack. And Leenock is getting a lot of Zerglings. Leenock wants to be aggressive here, and this is bad news for Ro.
And with double gas, he has so many more Banelings he can make. An insane amount of those. And he's not going to have speed, like you said. Yeah, Roro will have to defend the Banelings. And uh-oh, Leenock cannot deny the scout, though.
The question is how many Banelings will Roro have? Goes for 4 immediately, has a lot of Lings, micro, that's what it comes down to now. And of course, as soon as the Roach one is ready, he will be in a good position defending against this.
So basically, he's got the Spire as well, so all the pieces of the puzzle have been made. Leenock needs to do this damage now. If he holds with the first few Banelings, then gets Roaches out, just a few of them, and then starts the Mutas, Leenock's not going to be able to take a third, and he's going to get way behind this game, and he spots the Banelings morphing, and wow!
Okay, that's not only bad, that is game-ending.
Yeah. He's not going to be able to do anything with these Banelings if Aurora pulls the time.
And he pulls them away, and now they die. Oh my god, this is the worst case scenario. It can't be any worse than this. Leenock has a slight advantage in Harvesters, 49 to 43, a 6 Harvester lead, but he is just now about to start to end his tag when his opponent is already nearly done with the Spire. Roro is in a great position. He is so far ahead in tag. Ouch.
Yeah, and the Mutas are going to really put Leenock in a bad place. He's trying to get his Infestation put up, but he's not going to have the Infestors out for the first Mutas that will arrive at Leenock's third that he hasn't started yet.
But he has the better strategy against the Mutalisks. You can make Mutalisks work. We've seen it in the past. We talked about it with good splits. If you are able to bait out a few Fungals, keep the energy of the Infestors low, swoop in with a few of them, maybe kill an Infestor, you can do a lot of damage. But in general, the Infestor play counters Mutalisks.
Roro,
just as a rule of thumb.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that Roro is spreading creep aggressively when he's going for the strategy where you want to defend more often. And nice trade here by Leenock with the Banelings. Trying to do as much damage as possible here as he gets his own third. The Queen's off creep, and
he traps one, and he kills it.
And he's got a next wave here. Transfuse goes off, but it's too late.
Yeah, yep, another Queen dies. Of course he knows the Mutalisks are there. He needs to retreat right now. The Infestors will not be spawning with the energy for Fungal Pathogen Glands. It's just been started, so he needs a bit more time. And he needs to retreat with his Overlord, something that he already does, but I don't think he will be able to save. The Mutalisks actually go to the right, so he will be able to save the one in the middle that is now slowly moving back towards the main base of Leenock.
And Roro wants to force a cancel on the third base of Leenock right now. That's his plan. But with so many Lings on the map for Leenock, it's very difficult to make this work, even with the Mutas. 7
Infestors now, and this changes a lot. Leenock is still behind, of course, in the overall supply. As you can see, the Harvester count is the same. Both of them going for Roaches here.
Yeah, and the Roach count's significantly in Roro's favor right now. He's got 15 of them out already on the map, but with the Infestors of Leenock, he can start to really build that energy, and he's got his own Roach Warren coming through here.
Look at this Queen count.
That's insane.
These Queens will help him a lot, not only against... he can actually use them later on, but now here comes the attack at the third, and he has to defend with the Lings and with the Queens, and +1 attack will be not done, just not done.
Yeah, and this is the problem, you know.
That's that.
Whenever your opponent goes Mutas and attacks your third base, it's so hard to defend that. The Ling run by is going to be shut down by Banelings and a few Roaches.
Roro plays a great game here. He is, I don't want to say inches away from defeating Leenock, but he's in a position where he can definitely take down the Zerg player.
This is when the snowball starts rolling.
Let's not forget that in the last game, actually, Roro was in a similar good position, and then he suddenly, well, did not use his timings, and Leenock got back into the game. Yes, he lost in the end, but Leenock was able to start a comeback again, even with the Caspar Zerg once more. So this might actually happen here with the Infestor count that he has. 9 Infestors, that is a lot.
And a lot of them are basically approaching full energy because he's had them for so long.
Yeah. And also the Queens. I mean, we have now 7 Queens. He can use them for transfuses later. And they're also good against the Mutalisks in order to defend. So Roro also aiming for Infestors as a backup. But when Leenock gets its count of units up, his Roaches in particular can do a lot of damage here. He wants to go for a Borrow attack. This could actually do the damage that he needs to deal. It's risky, yes, but it could work.
Yeah, Roro's Roach count is the concern that Leenock needs to deal with somehow. You know, we saw sometimes players like to use their Infestors combined with Hydralisk to help deal with this. What is Leenock's choice going to be? His third hatchery still isn't up, and that's the biggest problem.
He lost an Infestor, yeah.
Yeah.
There is the Overseer, so sorry for cutting off there.
No, it's fine. The thing is, you know, you're right. The Infestors can be used for a sneak attack, but it's risky, and we just saw why.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You can lose an Infestor.
And Aurora did this on the last map too, so that's why Leenock was playing it really, really safe. He was very cautiously approaching his opponent's base, and only one Infestor died. This could have been so much worse. We've actually saw games being decided by a Zerg player trying to sneak Infestors in, and then 6, 7 of them died,
Moon,
and he lost
for example.
the game immediately. Yeah, one of them being Moon. That was against the Terran, but yeah, the same holds true.
Yeah.
Also, actually, I think it was live on Daybreak against a Protoss player. Did the same thing.
They're so important. If they are ever caught alone for a second, you will kill them. Similar to a High Templar, you know, it's just like important.
Worker supply is now in favor of Leenock. This is a really close game once again. Both of them this time have roughly the same upgrades as well. If you just look at the production tab, we have +2/+2 for both of them researching. Ro16 wants to add a few Hydralisks once more, and he's trying to get a macro hatch and an expansion. But this game is once more very, very close.
And Leenock's going to catch some roaches here. And look at the bank. Right now, Leenock has more gas because he's mined his gas first as third. The third base of Roar was up for a long time, but he didn't get the gas there until very recently. So he's got 1,200 minerals in the bank, but he doesn't have a bank advantage that he can use over Leenock as well as he could if he had the gas earlier, because without the gas, you just cannot make the units that you need in ZVZ.
A lot of minerals though for Roro, and this game will once again come down to the engagements. What kind of positions will we have? What kind of micro with the fungals, with the transfusers? That is going to be so close, and both of them know it. Both of them are really reluctant to move out onto the map and being the first one to use this aggression. And I don't think that Leenock has any plans of adding any higher list. He's completely content with relying on the high number of infestors that he has. And he's starting to be aggressive. He knows there's a fourth base coming up for his opponent. He wants to take it down. He has the supply lead, as mentioned. He's using... does he bring queens? I think he does. Yes, he brings queens as well.
He saw that the... you know, that Overseer that died saw that the army of Roar was out of position, and Leenock said, well, I'm going to just run in here, grab this hatchery, and get out. There's no way for him to trap me, because his infestor out of position. Meanwhile, though, Roro is doing a similar thing here, tearing down the hatchery of Leenock, and he will lose all of these roaches, but the hatchery will fall.
Transfusers should be ready. Where are the transfusers? Where are the queens? They are not in position.
Oh,
they're too late.
No, barely gets in there. That was so close. Wow.
They are just in time. About in the main base, suddenly we have roaches in the main base at the natural. Roro with exactly this multitasking that we saw yesterday from him, and he is putting Leenock in such an uncomfortable position. Leenock has a huge bank. He has gas and minerals, but now he's losing harvesters, and at the same time he is losing queens.
Yeah, he lost several queens. Kind of interesting to me that he burrowed his drones to save them, but did not do the same for his queens, because you can actually burrow your queens to save those. Maybe just kind of something he wasn't thinking about. Another run by at the third base, but Leenock has his infestors there, and Roar has to get out.
Laura is actually lucky that Leenock did not react in time and fungal those units. We would have lost all of them. Resources lost. Speaking of losing stuff, we have a lead for Leenock. He played a little bit more cost efficient than his opponent, lost 1,000 resources less than Roro. And Leenock still with a high infestor count. He has 14, is getting another 6. And well, he doesn't even rebuild his harvester. He is down to 38. He rebuilds a few. Yeah,
just a few, 6 more on the way. But Roar with the huge lead there, and his fourth base has been remade on the left side of the map. It's finished now.
And this gives you, Leenock, an edge in the army supply, as we just saw on the tab. Thanks to Legend for highlighting this once again. So, with 2 mining bases, it makes a lot of sense for Leenock to not build too many drones. And now, if he attacks, he has to deal with the Spinecrawl. Close.
Yes, he does. There's so many Hydras in the mix of Roar right now. In total, there are actually 20 Hydras here. And with Fungals, you can make it so the Roaches cannot attack the Hydras. The Hydras do so much damage, low hit points. Good Fungals for both players. Leenock struggling to get a Concave, though.
He needs more Infested Terrans, and here they go. Both of them attack at the top right. We have another front for Leenock, for Roro, and Roro is in a huge supply lead at this point. In army supply, they are about even. Leenock is actually a little bit ahead. This game is once again getting crazy as Roro just lost most of his army. He is down to 82 army supply against 100.
And that's when these Spinecrawlers become important.
Yes.
Leenock will be able to kill the fourth base, but he lost his third and a ton of harvesters. Leenock is actually not waiting. He didn't even know about the Spinecrawlers until now. He can't break this. This is It's not going to happen, but he's trying. Yeah, he's trying to eliminate some of these spine crawlers. That's a lot of energy used, though. Bungle's being used on Infested Terrans.
He's just trying to save as many of those spine crawlers as possible. He knows that he's going to need them. Ro16 now in an overall supply lead. He still has his third base. He has a lot more mining. Resources lost. Now still in favor of Leenock. He's still the rating really cost efficient, but this is gonna...
I think it would have been better to attack and kill the fourth hatchery and get out. You know what I'm saying? He killed almost a spine crawler with those Infested Terrans.
Yeah, the fourth base still being up. That's a big problem for Leenock.
He's going to kill these infestors, but that's, you know, just a small victory here.
Yeah, the infestors, they are dead. Actually, I think one survived, but here comes Ro16. He's being a bit aggressive, and he has a huge overall supply lead, but in army supply, Leenock is still in a decent position. He can still make this work, especially since he has 13 infestors. That's a lot of fungals. That's a lot of infested Terrans.
Yeah, as long as he keeps them alive, and so far he has, rebuilds that energy from earlier, he's going to be in great shape. Ro16 has split his spines now, so he has the fourth base basically defended for sure.
Ro16 is just great with the multitasking. We've talked about it yesterday, and today we witness it once again. Every single time he has a second force, a second threat to Leenock on the map that's gonna hit hard, and he's now rebuilding his army. He didn't have any Hydralisks just a few seconds ago, but now he's building 7 of them, 9 in fact. And the spine crawlers help him so much defending against all of this.
And he's just got the perfect arc. No matter which way Leenock tries to attack him, he's going to be able to spot this. He's killing some of the tumors, which actually ironically helps Ro16.
He has to break through at some point, and he knows it, but attacking into spine crawlers is going to be dangerous with all these infestors around. They will just fungal him and forcing him to commit completely.
And Leenock on the retreat now as Ro16 moves out. And this is going to be so tough for him to hold. He's got infestors, but no support.
Here we go. In this funnel, he wants to use his infestors with the infested Terrans and, of course, the fungals as well. And this is a lot of infested Terrans. Ro16 is dropping in army supply immediately, but right now he still has the lead. So this is just such a par game. Yeah. I don't think that Leenock can sustain this army, though.
No, he just doesn't have the resources, you know, and he's running out of infestors. GG!
Leenock without energy on the infestors is pushed.